We got a brand new character in Okoye, and I'm going to show you guys how to rank her up as fast as possible. Just like Man-Thing, she's completely 100% free to play, so grab yourself a 1-star version of this character and get to building her minus any sort of paid or, you know, event-related rank up tickets, because you're not going to need any of that stuff. All you got to do is grab yourself like bio selectors. Even look at this, speed selectors from logging in will get you Okoye bios. Shadowland selectors will give you Okoye bios. You can even go super easily to crafting, and you can go and change to speed bios, and you hit the 10 there, and we'll probably hit, boom, the first one is an Okoye bio. So you can very, very easily rack up her bios, and then rank her up. We have just under 500 bios for Okoye here, 494. And I'm going to take you through building her up as easily as possible. You can actually just max it out here without using rank up tickets. You're obviously welcome to use rank up tickets for someone like Okoye, but like Man-Thing, there's really no reason to unless you are desperate to save the 500,000 gold. But frankly, the rank up tickets are way more valuable. Even when you have this many, it just doesn't make any sense to not use the bios because it's super cheap. It's only 310 bios to get the character to 6 stars. And then from there, you're just going to level them up with XP chips. You actually can use less than 630, but it's now down to 600 and change. Because you do get a bit of, I believe, bonus XP at the end. Oh, maybe you don't anymore. Okay, you used to get bonus XP, so you could do a bit of math there. But that's fine. We'll use one more, or you could use a couple of 1-star level 1 XP chips. Basically apply the same logic that you use for uniform XP chips with uniforms there. And then you're going to want to build up her gears. Again, you can be prompted with a ticket, but these are way too valuable to use on free-to-play characters, so I do not advise it whatsoever. Again, for the mastery, you could use a ticket here because it's going to save you 400,000 gold, but it's also, you know, just 300 Nornstones. It's very straightforward. But obviously, if you have a bunch of tickets and gold is more valuable to you, that you can sort of weigh against the cost of farming up that gold. Now, as far as the gears, you're going to need gear up kits. You're going to need dimension debris. That's pretty straightforward. And then you're going to need bios. But the thing that I keep talking about, because it's so cool, and we just don't get that many free-to-play characters anymore, like Man-Thing last year was the only one, is that it only takes 1 bio now. So you can see it says 184. Now, for every hit here, that was 3 bios. That was 1 bio for the gear. 7 bios. Every single one is just times 1. So 17 times 1. And then 24 times 1. So that whole process for that 1 gear cost me like under 50 bios. So we have 130 here. I think this should be enough to get us to the end here. We may get unlucky. Oh no, we're getting super lucky with these rolls here. Probably should have saved this luck for a tier 4, but that's okay. It's not really how it works. You can see here 96 bios for the last 2 gears. And yeah, it's really nice. They've made it so easy to rank up these characters nowadays. It's a huge breeze, and it's way easier. Back in my day, the number used to go up. It used to be 1 for the first 2 gears, then 2 for the next 2 gears, then I believe 3 for the last gear. So it would have cost, so that one would have cost 26 bios. That one would have cost 16. And then this last one here would have cost almost 60. It would have cost 57 because it would have been multiplied by 3. But it's not that way anymore. And then once you get them to 6-star, 60 with the mastery and with the gears all at 20, then you can advance them. Here is where the only time where I would say you can use a ticket and it makes sense. And the reason why I say that is because these tier 2 advancement tickets are given out every single month completely for free. There's just like an auto check-in calendar, you could call it, and every single month you're just going to collect one of these. Now, when you're still new to the game, you're not going to have many of them, obviously, because you haven't checked in that many times. But I'd say within a year, maybe 2 years tops, you're going to have so many of these, you're not going to know what to do with them. And so in this case, it makes sense, because you're not only going to, like, forget about the bios, but you're going to save the black antimatter, the chaos Nornstones, which are huge for building up native tier 2s, for their uniforms, etc. And you're also going to save 2.5 million gold. The 500k for the bios, the 300,000k for the mastery, that's not a lot. 2.5 million, that's a lot more. So in this case, I'd say the ticket is more than worth it. So there we go. We've got our tier 2 Okoye. Now from here, we want to collect all these achievements for Okoye. Love saying that name as well. Oh, you don't collect them all at once. You collect them one at a time. Okay, sure. For Okoye now, what you want to do is search for her first potential, and you can do that by either taking her into World Boss as a character, or taking like as one of the 3 characters on the team, or taking her into World Boss Legend as a striker. You can't take her in as a regular part of the team, but you can take her in as a striker, and she will get potential. All right, so we beat a World Boss Legend here. Stage 20, cranking it out with Ghost Rider. We have Okoye locked in to the striker position, and what's it gonna be? Boom! We get her potential! Let's go! We also get 57 Carbo. That's why you farm Obama Balls? Oh, that guy's name is Obama Balls. This is unscripted. Wow. That's insane. Okay. Don't forget as well with Okoye to collect these rewards for ranking her up as part of the event. That's also why you want to rank these characters up within the 2 weeks that these are out. But yeah, there you go. Bang out her potential in one shot. That's why you want to play World Boss Legend Plus, guys. Not only for the rewards, but also for the, the luck here. As far as these potential enhanced tickets, I have a lot of them, and I also see these questions a lot. Who should I use these on? They're all equally weighted. What that means is any character that can use this, you can use it on them. It doesn't have any sort of difference. The only difference is between characters. So in the sense that I can use this ticket on Okoye, or if I had a level 60 tier 2, I don't know, Titan Hulk. The weighting there is that Titan Hulk is going to be stronger, is going to be better than Okoye, because he's got a uniform, so he's got those extra stats. He scales his damage based on HP. That's just unique to the character. He has the team up collection for the Avengers, so he can have access to extra attack and pierce. And so those things are sort of character specific. But otherwise, it's all the same in terms of the value. There is no character that's going to give you more or less value when using these tickets. But you should absolutely use these tickets when you have the chance, because using all of them saves you 10 million gold and a bunch of rank up materials. Like, look at this, 1,600 black antimatter and 3 million gold. And you're not going to want, and then a bunch of bios, right? And then you're not going to want to use, you're probably not going to want to do 100% because you don't have that much black antimatter. So you're going to do the 10% method. 10% method takes a long time to do, and it costs more gold on average, which is why I don't like doing it, because I value the gold more than I value the other resources. But just so that you're aware, if you really need the gold and you don't have tons of tier 2 materials, then I would say, yeah, use the 10% method, because it technically will be cheaper in the long run, just not in terms of gold. It will cost you more gold on average. Now we get her gears up to 25 in order to get that tier 3 rocking. And this, of course, is not going to cost you any more bios. So you're actually done for bios, which is, again, the reason why you want to use that tier 2 rank up ticket when it's presented to you. This obviously could cost a lot, but if you're short tier 3 materials, I would suggest you farm story mode. And as you build up, like as you farm story mode in the beginning, you're not going to get a lot of fragments daily. So you're going to be like, oh, this isn't really worth it. You do get tier 3 drops in lieu of getting fragments. So it sort of replaces it and gives you a little bit of either, what is that called? Essence of Dimension or Titan Component Packs. It gives you a little bit. But eventually, once your roster starts to get bigger and you get more tier 3s and more transcended characters, you will be able to get a lot more fragments monthly. And then you can open those chests with the story fragments, and you'll get even more tier 3 materials. And that'll sort of snowball to allow you to build up more characters. And then you will be able to get more fragments, and then more tier 3 materials, and then more characters. And then you'll get to the point like me, where you kind of stop playing story mode, and you have 100k of those materials anyways. So yeah, we get to tier 3 here. I could have also used the tier 3 advancement ticket on Okoye. Probably not a great idea for her specifically, but also keep in mind, we get very few new characters these days. So if you are a veteran and you have a whole roster, you may want to use these while you can. Not saying the game is going to shut down anytime soon or anything like that, but just that we get very few of these characters that this works for. It's not going to work on native tier 2s unless it's like a premium advanced tier 3 ticket. So it might have been wise for me to do that, because I would have saved the books. But really, at this point, the books are the only thing that I worry about or that I'm concerned with. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. If you guys want to know as well, before I did the the Okoye Dora Milaje run there to unlock her potential, I had my books capped in World Boss Legend. And so what I did was I collected the book preemptively before the run, and now you can see it's 1 out of 10 because I didn't get a book drop. That was a bit of a risk in case the book, or in case I didn't get her potential in one shot, because these books expire in 1 day. So you can see there it expires in 1 day. It expires in just over, I think it's actually 2 days. It's 1 day, 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. But we did get lucky, so we didn't really get punished there too badly. And it basically allows us to start collecting books a couple of days earlier than we would have. And that book pity is there permanently now. It's really, really nice. So I highly recommend you aggressively tier 3 characters that you enjoy, because they are, much easier to tier 3 now with the book pity. As far as the skills go for Okoye, you only need to max out 5, 4, and 3 because of the buffs that they have. You can ignore the first and second skill if you want to save gold, and it is 1,000,000 gold per skill, so it does add up quite a bit. As a character without a uniform, despite the stats on her gear, giving her cooldown, giving her attack speed, you probably still want to roll either Power of Angry Hulk or Overdrive, but I would actually caution against Overdrive because I can see that Okoye already has her crit damage capped because of her passive, giving her, I believe, 50% crit damage. So in that case, I think you're much better off aiming for Power of Angry Hulk exclusively, or if you want to save gold, you can go between Power of Angry Hulk and Hawk's Eye. All right, so you nail the Power of Angry Hulk there. And then for the rest of the build, you're probably just going to want to go with a standard either, proc build or maybe a support build if you plan on using them as a support. As far as the rotation goes, the game suggests that you do 3 into 5 with a delay into 4. Now that's only going to leave you with about 36 hits, which is pretty depressing. So let's find something better. The in-game combo suggests that you cancel 5 quite early, but if you want to make the most out of Okoye, you want to lay down 5 and wait. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of hits, but then once she throws up the spear, you can go into the 3 cancel 4. Now, obviously, this is going to make her much less proc friendly because now you have to, trigger with a bunch of hits at the beginning, but that is going to increase you from 40 hits up to 60 plus hits. So you get like 50% more hits, but at the cost of probably missing a proc now and then, which is obviously quite annoying. In either event, you are looking at a situation where she isn't very proc friendly. Now, that does lead to the conversation, because she has guaranteed crit rate and because she also has crit damage, it kind of leans her towards a CTP of Rage build being the best option because of all those delay cancels. However, I know that's super expensive, so on the flip side, you could also go for something called a mini Rage proc, which are these obelisks here, and I have a red, or sorry, not a red one, but a yellow one, a 5-star one as an example here. That bottom activation rate, which increases damage per 1% of either your crit rate or your dodge. For Okoye, it doesn't really matter. Her crit rate and dodge are both going to cap out at 75 anyways, and it doesn't take into consideration guaranteed crit rate. So all you want to do is basically roll for something like that with an orange stat that can essentially be whatever you want. Ignore dodge is probably your best option because it's going to help you for World Boss Legend if you want to use Okoye there. So it's going to look something like this. And I got super lucky and I rolled one on the very first try. So there you go. That is an ignore dodge mini Rage proc obelisk. Now, if we take a look at the list of rolls for these obelisks, 1% is actually the highest. 0.9 and then 0.8 is also available. So I did get the lowest roll. So 0.9 and then obviously 1% are going to be quite a bit higher and give you even more damage. But this is kind of a good example of a way to sort of build her without, breaking the bank, but also in a way that's going to play into her strengths, because it's super easy for you to cap dodge in this case for Okoye, and mine's already overcapped by 40%. Because of all of the crazy stat buffs she gives herself, right? She gives herself 40% dodge and 50% crit damage. So it's almost too easy to cap. And just in case you're wondering, like, sure, my crit rate is only 46% here. If I had rolled this to be crit rate instead of dodge, easy peasy. We roll this dodge back over to crit rate, and it doesn't matter because our dodge is super capped right already, and I'm already at 60% crit rate, and I only need another 15%, which I can easily get from any of, you know, her Uru that I'm going to equip. Now with the ISO 8 set equipped and some regular 6-star Uru for physical attack, if we take a look at her details page, we're just 3.5% off of being crit rate capped. So we slap on literally 1 crit rate Uru, and that could be like 2 4-stars or 2 5-stars. And there you go. We're 0.5% off now. So hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Okoye. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.